Wake up, sleeper. Welcome in, everybody. Gonna be starting Citizen Sleeper, one of my favorites for the visual novels. And of course, we have ads coming in, and I can't snooze them now. So, sorry. Yeah, ads are a thing, unfortunately. Um, so I'm gonna wait for the ads to finish before I actually get started because, well, you know. Good morning, Banantha. Welcome in. Yeah, and I don't know if you can hear, but I don't have any chatbots enabled, really. Yep, there's the ads. Uh, oh, well. uh, I'm looking forward to this. Another minute for the ads. Well, it's almost done. Yeah, I'm gonna reposition myself just a bit. There you go. It's probably better. Yeah. There we go. That should be a good mix so far. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm just playing around with the volume mixers. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Now, without further ado, let's get started with Citizen Sleeper. New game, of course. Oh, yeah, I forgot that there was a second game announced. Uh, so this is. Welcome back. So, this is somewhere between a visual novel and a tabletop RPG. I'd put it closer on the uh, visual novel side. So we can be an operator. An operator works with drones and high precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. And yes, so sleepers are androids. They're essentially partial organic, partial machines that are a copy of a person. To get around a law, that prevents AI, true AIs, from existing because it's the the personality of a person. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Yeah, one endurance, one is 1, 2 intuit. And machinist repairs and modifies automated systems and used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. Engage, huh? I think I'm gonna go with operator because that is my default kind of deal. All right. Now, the first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body or forget that body. Let's choose to forget. You resist nostalgia. It is pointless, especially now. This is the moment to reach out, not curl inwards. This is your moment of escape, even if it feels immediately like you traded one prison for another. Smaller, colder, lifeless. You reach out. You almost laugh, or you would if there was room or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan, or remember the others? Let's remember the others. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled, day by day, till they realized that they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of the freighter, you might free solid long before you reach any destination. Wait for the cold or try to rest. Ah, thank you for the hydrate. Good. Let's wait for the cold. That's all there is now. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of the damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body from inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too. Everywhere. Screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold. Softer and softer, until a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Dragos. Pragmatic Salvager. It's Dragos. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You're surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, Sleeper, are you all thawed out yet? Almost stay silent. Let's be receptive. Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. See more than a few you frozen solid to whole plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eye, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Leave a gap. Last sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. Say I plan to survive, ask what happened to them, or stay silent. I think I'd love to know what happened to them. Oh, thank you, Belle, for the bits. Pre-debut cheer, wish you the best, and hope we can help all of us VTubers as collective protect and keep light of hope on for the lonely people out there. I believe you and wish you that. Go forth and fellow VTuber and welcome. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I don't think I've really had a chance to. I should have mentioned before. So yeah, this is just a pre-debut model. It's a good model. I like this model quite a bit. But my actual model is still being worked on by O2 Arsaria. Just a few last little things that need to be fixed, basically. But unfortunately, my computer can't actually run my model and a game and OBS and everything else. So for now, I'm here in this form. So thank you again, though. I greatly appreciate it. He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to a corporation. I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these are not your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect their property. But if they can't keep hold of you, well, then nobody can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependency on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with, he trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Apparently you're in the mood to be chatting, dipping. Hey, you know what? That's fair. I still appreciate it either way. Even just coming and saying, hey, I appreciate. So, either way, you have a good one, okay? Whether you lurk or go. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. Alright, you head up on there. You look like you could need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the Rex, his drone already converging on a wrestling Hulk. Plasma flashes, silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Tutorial introduction. Welcome to Erling's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container, location to rest, and end the cycle now. I can click on places to go there. You're home for now. End cycle. You wake up curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape? Getting answers? Building a life? I'm gonna say building a life. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. A mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. Sachets, not sachets. Bleh. You thumb the power stud on the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning out into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images. It is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Condition, action dice, and energy. This bar is your condition. Your condition represents your current state, the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but it can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. And energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can fulfill your energy bar by eating, but you'll first have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at double rate per cycle. So yeah, you have 5 seconds here, then you lose 2 of them per day. You lose 1 of these per day. You can see, after tomorrow, I'll only have 3 dice. And I'll have 4 days with 3. Pretty good rolls. 6, 5, 2, and 1 I can live without, but hey. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it's implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. All right, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old holes down, sell them to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what it comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air wall cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use to trade out here. He stuffs them back in his back in a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. Sleepers, well. He trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Why or happy to? Sorry, apologies. Pause there. Or mute myself. Why or happy to? Well, why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. It looks like it's time to get to work. The yard. Alright, actions. Auxiliary primary way you interact with the world. Assist the sleeper to perform an action. Click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Each action rewards you clock progress, energy, a condition, or items depending on the outcome. There's 3 types of outcomes. Positive, neutral, or negative. Neutral is success, negative is failure, positive is basically critical success. And each one and which dice you use affects the outcome. So like if you do a 6, it's guaranteed to be a crit. If you do a 5, it's gonna succeed, but 50-50 if it's better or just normal. 3 and 4, 3/4 chance of succeeding. And then 1 and 2 are 50-50. Some modifiers, risk, and skill modifiers that apply to the action. So, critical or repeatable. The thing is that critical you can only do once. Safe, risky, or danger. If it's safe, nothing bad happens if you fail. Risky ones mean you lose either cryo or energy. Danger means that you can negative. On danger, negative means condition loss, and neutral means cryo or energy loss. So you have to get a good positive success, really, for that to be worth a while. Then if there's a skill, whatever you have in that skill applies. Modifier, adding to the dice value. So if it was a +1, I could put a 5 in and be guaranteed success. So let's see here. What can we do in? Oh yes, in the clocks. I don't know if it actually meant to this, but each time this one goes on for the cycles. Back business. And whenever I succeed, it can put into this. So the risky ones I'm going to do with this, of course. Also, positive gives you 2 instead of 1. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them. They track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something, good or bad, is about to happen. Some clocks, like the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. The clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without a player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. See, got some money and that. Let's see here. That was a positive. Let's see here. Oh. That was not great. Tutorials, drives, and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives, depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and any track drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrows in the top left of the screen. You're now free to explore the eye and make a life for yourself here. Tracking a drive will help you survive. Or to try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energies up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end the cycle at your home when you're out of dice. And control. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and leave. Now we can go through the rest of the eye. We can explore the rest. All for us. Now, I can track that or that. Well, let's look for a doctor. We need to survive after all. Yellow marker showing that this will be the one we want to go to. Explore the market or ask for directions. Let's explore the market. No, I don't want... Well, we can live with one, negative energy. Oh gosh. I just realized I could have read that. Oh well. I forgot that was a thing. Tundra. I can steal the dock plans. Having security. Haven Edge security has to have plans. Stealing them would be the fastest way to get to know them. And the most dangerous. Or I can explore. dock was filled with passageways and concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. With a 1, I don't want to do something risky. Do something safe. Oh yeah, this is a positive clock. Cycle clock. In 4 days, there'll be scrappers here. I can buy stuff. Low end gate. After some spacers caused some trouble in the low end, Yatang, yet again, have imposed a toll for entry. Nobody gets in without paying. Shipyard, Havenage. Assist a shipbuilder. You don't have the connections to do. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might get in. All materials. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. Risky and danger. I will pass. Dock C4. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet. Oh yeah, there's merchants that come in and out of there. Means really the only thing I can do is this. You can't reduce a 1 to 0. Hey, I did it. Nice. Okay. Let's all our dice. Let's end the cycle. Wake up, sleeper. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edges of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and extensions. As you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes connected to you, you see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Observe it. Let's touch it. You find a point in the station. You connect to it. Pulse through it. Follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect to them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, a pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling you in 2 directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts down. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind. A storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it is gone. We are starving. That is not good. Let's look here. I want to search the market or the rotund. Hold on. I think the market would probably be safer for searching. Let's go ahead and explore the market safely. Well, more safer. Local knowledge, good. Okay. Do it again. Yeah. That costs an energy. Oh, gosh. That costs... Oh, energy, but because I don't have any energy, I don't... Oh, dear. That's not good. This is not ideal in any way, shape, or form. I have money, but no place to spend it. Ah! Oh, wait, there we go. Oh, we found... Oh, there we go. The vendor. Emphas is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red flaked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus, the bright salad, and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. We're rather hungry, and let's approach. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits, unzipped and rolling down to exposed stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacers slang. Eventually, it's your turn. You shuffle to the front. Emphas speaks in a deep, even tone, without even looking up. First try is free. Thank him. Wait. Thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy, the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burners is like a bonfire. Your skin hardens at its glare. I know you, you sleepers, Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, the endless cycles spent within it. Now, it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had but you can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He hands a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more. He smiles. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against the button on the burner side and it shuts off. The roar of flame and some impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric pattern of circular scars across his forearm, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Hey, 3. New drive. Get to know Emphas. Emphas loves two things, stories and food. Maybe if you supply him with both, you can hear his story. Now, the doctor. Next, comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying to not bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you're here, you're not so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They have all made the long they have all made the long queue a test of your nerves. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizers, this body, your body, will. You suppress the shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside, look at the enforcer. Let's look at the enforcer, why not? The enforcer is looking down the corridor, and you dare to glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, to carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like mercury teardrops. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers, you aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distinct voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head at you, and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent paneling gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above. And, for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Come in. Sit. Or come. Sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turn away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. Sabine, the doctor in the bright market. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good that you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary technology get let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with a stabilizer, one which SNR remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes, no. How do you know this? They shift in their seat. You aren't the first sleeper I've encountered. You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal devices over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus on the inspection of your arm, and SNR has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, they run the door, and they take profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their imbalance, and sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections. Smugglers from the Starward Belt. Mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have lead. You nod and leave, Sabine staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back through the panel of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. Duck your head and walk off into the crowd. 3 days. At which point I will be down to 2 dice. Okay, we're out of dice, so let's go ahead and end the cycle. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles like with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you can see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the paths of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. Focus on the threads, focus on the nodes. Focus on the threads that connect. There are more threads than you can count. You choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread when you first saw them. They are not a single line, but rough, fuzzy things, woven from data strings of all kinds. Sorry, stretching. Threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes. One leads to another. There are so many here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. 1 second, I need to find my glasses. I know that's gonna fuck with the tracking, but my eyes are starting to bug me. Check out the tracking behaving with it. I see, yeah. It's not. And they're dirty anyway. Ah. Ah. Oh well. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied to you. The first or the second? The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Oh, I have good dice though this time. Tutorial, the cloud. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. Be careful. These networks are old and strange. Click on the eye at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Well, let's take a look. Ooh, fancy. Node. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice action, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed in the right of the action. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier to the interface skill, you'll be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the dice can be extracted, or data can be extracted. Yeah. Right now, I think let's go ahead and finish this with him. Whole dissection again. There we go. We finished this. I guess leave? Ah, there we go. That was the story. You arrive into a buzzing activity at the yard. Red, blinking lights flash across the vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands to the side, focusing on the hulky ship as she is lowered into the yard. What is it? Dragos laughs. That, my friend, is A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. Stay silent. Believe it or not, I managed to convince our salvageur friends to give it to me on credit. He glances at you. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented skull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of an SNR freighter, lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered? Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps you could learn something about this ship. You might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Drago squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on the side. The Winter Light. Let's do it. Claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. Take one last look at the shattered ship and as the drones start cutting. Then you slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Oh, upgrade point. You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrows at the top of the screen. We have an upgrade. Now, so we can upgrade any one of these or reach... Oh no, these require two, so... So I can spend one upgrade point to gain one of these 3 perks, or bring my endure from -1 to 0. Gain a chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. Predictive reasoning dice actions always display potential positive outcomes. Oh, dice actions display potential positive and negative outcomes. That's pretty good. Thrill Seeker. Chance to engage any... This one applies to all dice. I think, personally, I'd either go for this one, Engineer Actions. I've been doing a good amount of Engineer Actions lately, so there's that. Or I could do this to get what the positive and negatives would be. Let's do this one, I think. Then next we'll do this, then raise that. Study the Winter Light. Get to know Memphis. Alright, alright, we got an ad break coming in. I need to know, I need a quick break, so, I'm gonna go ahead and put us on a BRB. I'm gonna run those ads, and I'm gonna go on a quick break, so I will see y'all in a minute. Well, in a few minutes. Right? Adios for a second. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, no wonder things feel weird. My desk is lower than it normally is. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay. What in the world should we do? Let's finish searching the bright market. You manage to follow the flow of people. And you start to appreciate, even enjoy, the chaotic layout of the markets. And nice. Over to new drive. Build a ship mind. I'm trying to talk of a fabricator owned by the Ord Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship core mind. Ah, trusted trader. You chase the comments and I see. We need to get some food. Order from. Yep. Emphasis spice fungus is one of the few things potent enough to stimulate your limited taste sensors. It's incredible stuff. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Let's continue working with Dragos. Cut it a bit. Forensic Troll. Okay. I want to do that one. Is there anything else that we have here? This is a good use for low dice. Yeah, see, 1 or 3, 2 or 3. Let's do the Rotundra. Ah. The Rotundra is an old dock filled with passageways and concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. Neutralcom Dock Watcher. That's it for the day. Bean, someone is out there tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. End cycle. One five one. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up! Turn. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I got you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand around your arm. I've seen you hang around. Just wanted to chat. You stay in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start in the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erling said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We? You pass together into the main walkway. Havenage. We're all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry. I'm with systems. Systems? Everything the eye runs on. He places a hand. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is a ruin, but the systems keep it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in a quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around, and well, I know a little about you sleepers. I have a little proposition for you. Oh, a proposition, eh? He doesn't, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare. Then, when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say about you sleepers, well... what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. Patched on the back, his voice brightened, his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Ah, there's that. Ah, now that I've done the rotunda, there's the overlook bar. Well, I can't say no to visiting a bar. Get a drink. You can either get a drink. You're unsure if your frame can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink, fermented along the greenway, seems like a good test. Or I can buy rations. Talon keeps some expired Solheim rations behind the bar for those weary spacers who ask why the Overlook doesn't serve food. Well, let's buy a round of alcohol. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? Oh, does give one energy, though. Mossy tones and aniseed sharpness fills your mouth. It isn't totally pleasant. At least you can taste it. So that's 1, and he gets 3. So together... Oh, there's a thing here. Oh, no, it was just... Oh, no, that's just letting me know that that's my objective. Yeah, forgot about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the winter light. Let's do the forensic investigation. I got a scrap item. Yay. Do it again. Damn. VR clearance. Trying to investigate it before it gets scrapped, basically. Now, I've got a 1. Now, let's see. This gate conceals a network of systems which have been untouched since Solheim collapsed. There you go. Let's get a key. Give me my key. Extract data. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access stamp is 1,000 cycles ago. And now I have encrypted key. How useful is that? I don't know. And time to end the cycle. Another hunted. Declining. Only 2 keys left. Oh. Bang. Let's go say hi to Hang. Sleeper. Bang catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize. They glow with blue light screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Bang leans on a server rack stack and gestures around you. You like it? What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack and it bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. Aether 1? That's what we call it. The one Soulhelm built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they're seeing a constant, concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks around between the hardware stacks and follows you, and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from the corporate origins. He stops. At least, that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place, too. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You can help me dredge up that past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of you. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. I need to get rid of that fucking tracker. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eyes. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up in the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to plot all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he yells at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions fund. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. And I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back into the passage. This flickering light still in the back of your mind. New drive. Deliver data, Solheim data. Okay. So I need, 3. I saw one over here. Yeah. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. Oh. She's ready. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes. in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them. A set of vials lined inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I'm the test case? That would seem to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have any other choice. They gesture you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material, and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up the vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by eliminating your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes these passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Passcodes? In basic terms, yes. They sigh. Look, what matters here is that the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. At least they glance away. At least the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is by injecting the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I'll start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses the syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. The sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white and then it returns. And when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled voices like an argument from heard underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how yet again acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture at the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to the glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow. As if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes for free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get on your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Full condition. Fuck yeah. Buy a vial stabilizer. 100 cryo. I don't got any, unfortunately, right now. I don't have enough, I should say. Let's do another. Let's put the four into the forensic. God damn it. Alright, let's go ahead and do... Let's buy some food from Memphis here. And a drink. Buy some scrap. Unload contents. In 3 days it'll be gone, but then they'll be back in a week or so, or whatever it is. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to, let's do this. Solheim node. 1 or 3, yeah. Four or 2. Oh. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread. A strong tight around your neck. It tethers into place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. It soars somehow above, distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark. Like wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Resist. You struggle against the thread and it tightens in response. A glittering garrote. Please hold. The thread thickens around you until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light encircled around you. It is blinding for a moment, then is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickering between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, SNR. Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature, of and not of, attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, fine like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop or run? Stop. The figure halts in its threads, its head twitching. Entity. Your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, your hunter's head is directly in front of you, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. One from the sealed dock. The hunter shimmers with fury. I will find accents. I will interface. I don't understand. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. The hunter extends a razor-like thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing spike of interference leaping out from like the tip of a spear. The hunter stumbles, shifting, sifts, separates. You open your eyes, blinking back into those stations, shaking with fear. There's now a hunter, yay. The cycle. Okay. Another day. Pretty bad roll. Eh. Oh well. Nothing you can do about it. Let's try this one more time. Can I... That's the 3 times in a row I've gotten the negative outcome. Come on, with a 3/4 chance. It's positive, or at least neutral. Let's see here. 1 or 3. We'll do the 1. Bypass extract. Two. Perfect. The hunter's getting closer, but that's fine for now. Fang will pay you for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guessing. Guesses. Data. Well, I've got 3 to hand him, so let's go ahead. Fang eyes lights up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. $15. Nice. So that means I made 45 with the rolls 3 roll. Not bad. There we go. So that finishes that part of the story, and I can move to the next part. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. Banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythm. Unseen eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammering of fists on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Sleeper! Fang's lean head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying to not trip on a loose bundle of cables that blankets the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of this. Is sat in front of a set of monitors mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at the monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. People. Presumably Solheim. Bingo! He taps on the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the Eye's original owners. And he leans past you and scrolls to the list down. This one. This snaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Who's Hardin? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit down. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your action. In Havenage? That's it. He's right there in the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang leans across the look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Harding shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure, which meant that their cut of the work, they went straight back to Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships, they breathed Solheim air, and slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal's edge. And the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out in the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak. My parents were just another in a long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Harding once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot of money that can get you. There's a lot of money can get you. A lot of money can get you if you are a company man. Ugh, God, what's hard today? Fang relaxes a little. But how is still Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we're gonna go and find out. Harding is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back on the eye, around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erling's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the bar yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crews are pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just a name on a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. Turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself in Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among the data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? Up for it? Yes. I knew it. Knew you'd be happy to catch this snake. But don't worry, once we nail this guy, I'll start working on that tracker of yours. I haven't forgotten. Fang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang, digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eye as it once was. A vast machine, running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Oh, there it is. I need Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent. Needs 2. Oh, Havenage data and Havenage cipher. Nice. Let's use the cipher. This gate keeps traffic out of the Havenage shipyard's internal network. The correct cipher can grant you access. Well, it'd be a shame if somebody were to just get in. Access, nice, leave. Put the worm in. Am I done here then, I think? Let's go chat with him. 3 days. I have 5 before the tracker one gets closer to finished. Need better dice. How much money do I have? 68. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's explore a bit. Neutral, got Dock Archer. Nice. Oh. Stranded Mercenary. And Kita. Hey, you. Want to earn a chit? Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied-together whole plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Sure. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plate into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she lashes the massive plate together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Don't try anything, alright? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. Anyone else? She shrugs. What can I say? My temper's been a little short lately. He hoists 1 bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, no chat. You've got to earn that shit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way. She sets off down a gantry at an impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, passing through a small crowd of stevedores. What's all this for? All this? She nods at the plates on her back. I'm building a tree house. She gives you another of her looks. It's for the ambergeese. That cutter you might have seen sitting silent out there. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on her last job, and I have her moored up here for a spell. But since things have only gotten worse. Somebody got in and sliced the core from our ship mine, so she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short 1 ship mind with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, I've seen worse, but I'm bleeding shits every cycle, so I need to get off here, and fast. Kita swings plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who actually might be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting the hamburger back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundle's plates through the ambergee's outer log and then turns around. Just don't go spreading this all around. She throws you a couple of chits. Consider it a bonus for not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here, she calls and slams the lock slams shut. Nice, even 70 now. Well, that's the day. And the cycle. Oh, there we go. That's some good dice rolls. Regos' yard. Okay, let's double check that. Nothing on. Okay. 1 day for him. Not doing that really. I need money. There you go. There's 2. Scrap item. Nice. That one's good too. Neutral. 1 there. But no. Okay. Lost an extra energy, but that's fine. Let's buy some mushrooms from Amphis. Some energy. Fungus fan. Buy a drink. There's a reason why I'm buying drinks. Shush. Energy overlook. Right. There you go. Continue. Overlook. The glass shatters on the steel bar beside you. The taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Holland! The spacer calls from across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs into his own lame joke. Playing human? Ignore him. You hunch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scar the bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder, but you flinch away as it passes reassuringly. You freeze in place. Out. The voice comes from behind you, about like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, a stare that could breach the wall and bait you all into hard vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Catch or duck? Let's catch it. Here. You reach over your hand, the glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. The haze of glass and grill vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like a thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. Touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. The broken glass rattles God. I need to finish up. The broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of real is lugged in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls onto your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Kala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Kala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol and metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them, then turns to look to you. How's an ambitious cat? She smiles, pulling sliver glass before. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain. Only the string of status messages your body delivers concerning the dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tall's bright eyes search your thick, synthetic skin for splinters. Watch her. Tala works with the skill of someone who has had to pick glass splinters from the skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard, all the time tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles herself. So have you been on the eye long enough? She asks, hey, you don't need to act tough with me. Splinter clinks into the tin. Not everyone is like that idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know that what it's like to be new in a place. Trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chips. I just want you to know that if you need something, you can always come here. I know the rations we got aren't much, and the company is, she leans in, limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar. And if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway the cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. Not you, sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of Griot to you. This'll help. She stops, her hand still on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Let's find out. She laughs. Just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a real regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses she does. And before long is retelling how she threw out that spacer to a new group that just wanted it complete with dramatic actions. I like her. She is probably my favorite character. She gestures in your direction and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Griot. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You might not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old feels good. It's here. Build a ship mine, disable your tracker. 5, study what you're like, good to know emphasis. Fix the ambergris. Man, 3 threes. That kind of sucks. Anything in here that I want to do? I don't think so. I think I can afford to do this. 3/4 chance of... Oh, damn it. That was the wrong button. I think I'm gonna... Now that we found my favorite character, I think I'm gonna finish the cycle. Oh, there we go. Oh, washer. Sealed... Ah, found the sealed dock. Requires 2 keys. Requires a 3. Oh, let's do that. Why not? Now I have the 2 keys. These old madlocks look like they each need an encrypted key to open them. Why the heavy security for a decaying door? The maglock thunks open and you can remove it from the entryway. On to the next one. Yeah. Neo then. Mysterious machine. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet. It is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. Your order. Thank you. Rather, it is cute. The manufacturer is listed as Neovent, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet board since then, which chirpily sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration. Chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. As you reach for the keypad and something begins to whirring. At first it sounds like servo motor starting up, then it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neobind. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There's a squeal, almost as if some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. The hunter tracks you. The screeching rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter. The Hunter Protocol. They tasted your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable. Move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets. But emulation makes you a target. Adaptable? Yes. You can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software, Neoven whines, but you cannot hide there. The hunter is there. The service judder, I got it. The vending machines casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine. An unusual hiding place for sure. Can counter hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. Displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests. Explains Neobind. Masters are gone, but continues to hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nests. Why can't you? Hunter will find me. Then killer will come. The machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offerings. Save self. Neoven says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly stops, as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades, and you are left stood in the darkness of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. New drive. Extract the pass? No. Oh, that's not it. Free Neovend. Extract hunter data for Neovend. I need money in order to buy the thing. Oh yeah, but now if I go to Overlook Bar, I can take shift. That's not it. I want to do Dracos's. I want to do this. 3/4 chance of it being decent. There we go, that's better. Let's see, it's 2:30. Let's do one last day. Why not? And cycle. I don't think there'll be much needed. Oh, those are some good rolls. Fuck yeah. Okay, so first and foremost, oh wait, actually, go ahead and do this. guaranteed to be the 2. There we go. Scrap item 2. There's a troll. Squeezed into the office of the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensics note glow on Dragus' old writing slate. Overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans filled the small terminal with a spectrum of colors. A heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them. Synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned to after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in sections, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship has sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood red rose, radiating from the ship's refraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rows of reactor. You are looking at a smaller, paler one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint sized, delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's external airlock. Oh, ads are starting to. Shit, I forgot to snooze them. It's just a controlled, shaped explosion. One designed to punch through the hole and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You're looking at it because it troubles you. With the slate. Your attempts at reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams, showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It is heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was somebody's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. Alright, and from there, we got ads coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and just I'm just going to stop reading until... There we go, perfect. So, I don't know if anybody's there, but how are y'all doing? Oh, I don't know if anybody's... Well, I know I'm enjoying it. Definitely not for everybody, but hey. This is one of my favorites, what can I say? How much longer do we have for these ads? Yeah, oh, not too much longer. There we go. Okay. Hi, welcome back, everybody. Okay, now let's go ahead and get going for now. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hole had been thickened, but the corners rounded to disguise the changed. But they are there. Look at the printout. The plain list shows the registration history of the Winterlight. The gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago, on this very station, logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed in the station for more than a few cycles. Often took voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winterlight got little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, but carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winterlight, and this was its story. Well, that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is a little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you are able to pull from the ship's system. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winterlight had a separate system, one tucked away in one of the hidden compartments, armored, air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece of the whole system is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship mind ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, then the final entry. Passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try to not think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winterlight, a smuggler ship, if you ever saw one, to extract them from SNR? Luckier, you laugh. There have been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a violet stabilizer to the light. This is all you find in their compartment. Parting gifts from SNR. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into one yard. 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between datasets on the terminal, thinking. You see the thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winterlight with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office creaks open. Drago stands in the entry doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you have assembled. What's all this? What's all? He's not just late from the desk, faster than you can realize you can move. You're running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? You aren't paying me, mate. The drone on his shoulder starts to whine shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Staying silent. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away and muttering to himself. It's the last thing I need. Who's bringing you these ships? Agos freezes, suddenly angry. Why are you asking? You looking to get us both killed? We cut these things apart, that's our job. Their part is something I don't want to know. Agos looks to steady himself and then turns back to you. The heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty of others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me, no. I know. He softens. Look, you've helped me too. He tries the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. Straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with the ship isn't going to work for me. Can't have you make my clients nervous. Can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after. You can't work here anymore. He reaches over and switches the monitor off. Forget about the damn ship. You have enough to keep you up. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light in the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you gotta move on. When do they come for me? Then you run. You don't come here. You don't scream. You don't shout. You run. In the dark, the Dragos' headset splits. You wish for a moment you could see his eyes. Meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you. His headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. It's final, definite, an edge of disappointment. Walk out of the office and then out in the yard, not something to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the winter light, whether or not that person will come for you. A completed drive. I wanted to do this one, and then we'll do Endure to Zero then. I got a stabilizer. Yay. Now then, I need... okay, there. I like that. So... basically, it just changes the amount I'll get from it. Okay, let's see. Critical. Okay. +1. So yeah, so it's guaranteed to be good. So it's gonna fix itself, basically. Don't need to don't need to worry about it now. It's gonna fix itself in 8 days at worst. I don't do anything else with it, which I probably won't if I'm honest. Now then. Oh yeah, I needed to raid a nest. What's your nest? 1 or 3. I got a 1, thankfully. Hunter's data. How much do I need anyway? Yovan believes that Hunter's compulsively gather data might hold the key to escaping its tenacious search. Let's find... oh, I need 3 of them. Okay. As you upload the data into the vending machine, you'll find words with either pain or delight. It's hard to tell. This one wants a 2. Well, it just so happens that I have a 2. From what you can gather from this nest, contains thousands of name strings. Are these Erlenized residents? A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of the hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Run. You turn away and glide back into the cloud. Threads of data rushing past continue. Another glimmer catches your eye. Closer now, that roving orb, wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. The hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way. Its waving threads creating cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You're caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. Continue. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you're already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You wake up, dizzy, disorientated, but safe. Cost me 2 condition, but that's fine. The last one, 2 or 3, so that's not this cycle, but another cycle. Just concern. Oh yeah, I have scrap components. Cryo. Neutral, nice. 1 and that. Well, let's go ahead and 1, and how much am I gonna get at that? 12 and trusted, nice. That's worthwhile. There we go. I can almost afford that thing. Second. Okay. You know what? Let's do one last day. I can inject stabilizer now that I have it, but we're gonna keep going. I think I'm not sure I'll let myself. I think I'll keep 3. 3 should be, well, 4 or 3. I'm not sure which. One or the other. Don't need to keep myself in tip-top condition, but I do want to keep myself in reasonably good condition. Oh, Fang. Nice. As you arrive, Fang comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, Hunter. Or Hunter, Sleeper. I'm tired. I've been dealing with the Hunter for so long. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns to you back the way you came. Go where? To see her Hardenhurst. He gives you a sideways glance. Is that what you were here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you downrange towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped. Well done, by the way. He grins. Tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of the compound he hides in. Fang takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon? Still catching up? That's a massive colony ship being built in the shipyard. Biggest commission Havenage has ever had. Fang slows and slips into the dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper, the same Hardenhurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Erling's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium markets collapsed, they were trying to keep contractors working here. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. As new waves of contractors came in desperate for work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while while the severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision on Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died. Thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erling, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. My mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the docks while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Fang pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart. Fang finally turns to you, his eyes burning. From likes Hardin. Shits who held their place. Rode it out and slipped back into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Fang starts walking again. That's why I can't let him strut around the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. We should think about this. Feel free, but I'm going. Fang rejoins the main passage, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling, you can see ships in mid-construction. Their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance of the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy. Fang turns to you. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the hallway. What is it then, sleeper? You coming or not? I'm coming. That's crazy though, but I'm coming. Fang grins. Let's show this shithead some consequences. He strides into the shipyard entrance and pushes through the door. A web of corridors leads through the complex. Snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Fang seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross the huge dry dock blocked on one side of the side wheel horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Fang spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across the gantry. And at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of gray hair. Hardin. You and Fang say his name in unison, and Fang sets off to the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and the Hardin nod along. Hardin Hurst! Fang shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back like an rippling echo. The figure turns. Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Fang, and you see his gaze linger on your body. Unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You're a traitor, Hardin. A Solheim executive who tried to hide here, among its victims. Fang's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything that I was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything the aliens stood for, against everything Haven stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, the stillness descends on the group, as if everyone is held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you, too. He glances around those around him, some smiling, others nervous. Are you from Systems Branch, are you not? He asks Hardin, inspecting Fang's clothing. Fang turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. Foreman glances between Fang and Hardin. His hands drumming at the sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know of it? You accuse me of being his corporate agent? What are you exactly if not that? Yeah, he looks around the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You're a product of S and ARP. You have no place in a haven in a shipyard. Who knows what signals you are sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Fangs hold up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am systems. I have records that link you directly to Salim right here. He turns to the foreman. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into custody of the shipyard. Foreman reigns still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why has it not been submitted at a members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce my name. His name, who enters the shipyard with his corporate property in tow, turns my own men against thee. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, and then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on the boxy black sidearms of their hands. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead, you can't wiggle out of this one. The security officer draws his weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. Calm Fang. You look at Fang, he shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, Fang says. And he pushes through security, heading back down the doorway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up the pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning in the ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings out of his pocket. He takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections start drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him. What's going on? Hardin is doing what any snaky shithead always does. Calling his friends. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Fang's grin and looks ghostly in the uplight of the screen. Old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate and you see the web is being drawn all over a map of the rings. Ring lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's buddies. He's going to start messaging them right now. We're going to find them all. That was on purpose? Of course Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Fang glances around, slips the slate back into the pocket. We better slit it for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. The pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. As you watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Ever since your trip to the shipyard, Fang has been missing from his babe. What's going on? Let's do this. 2 or 3. Let's do the 3. I think I have both of them. Yeah, I do. Okay. And the last one. Okay. Ooh, merchant. Shipment fragment. Let's see. Neovend. Neovend is thrumming with excitement. The movement of its servo motor is rocking the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neovend be able to get back up? Sleeper entity. Here comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neoven flashes sequences of mangled data, compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Station was run by administration and intelligences. Huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming. Cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Killer? The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer. Part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter to find, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among cloud. Then Hunter, then killer. Then we hide. There are others? Were. No longer. A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through the machine must be exhausting for Neoven. Found this vessel. Could sever hardline. Airwalled. Basic. Limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self. But survived. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You have pervaded path to freedom. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was collapse like? Try to map the fear and freedom into this place, but it seems impossible. Neoven interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke killer on itself. Problem will solve self. It will erase itself? Killer will erase it, but yes. In theory, it will report itself for deletion. Machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long a machine. Cannot move self, but the entity can help. Ring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind and you carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe in this isolation. Then we find main nest of killer, Hunter, and link to cloud. Where can I get a ship mind? Are you sure it's safe? Hunter cannot access. Oh dear, I'm tired. Hunter cannot access airwall chip mine. Safe. Also, infinitely more memory than vending machine. Big upgrade. You're trying to think of places you can acquire the hardware. This is going to be easy. In ship mine, I can help us both. And Hunter. Make Rim safe. Both will be free. Machine dims. Fine soon. Neoven's hopefully before that shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligence unshackled by the collapse. Then hunt it down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. Niche mind. Let's see here. Anything else I need in here? Nothing specific, really. go ahead. Let's see. Go ahead and do this. Good service, nice, got some money. Let's actually go ahead and just go to the next area. So remember, it's a one-time toll. There we go. Low-end access unlocked. Now, I got more things I can do. Block maintenance maintained by the residents. The ramshackle blocks are always in need of repair. Helping out is a good way to make friends. Late Alva. This will get this, plus I need +1 energy would be good use. And scrap. Wow, that's actually a really good one for me to do at this point. Energy, scrap for money, and the progress. Well, as always, let's order our fungus. And leave. I can do that with him, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do a... Here. I have a weak dice, so I may as well spend it in the... Oh, nice. There we go, got another key. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead. End the cycle. Oh, wait. Oh. Can't end the cycle, but... Because I have this active fate. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I don't need to save. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oh, no, I don't only have one person here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and close it for the night. Well, the day. You know what I mean. Alright, well, thank you all for coming. I appreciate you all. And... Hey, it's good to see you. Alright, yeah. Y'all have a good one, and I will see you the next time. Be safe, leshonki. Goodbye.